Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh, God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's gone! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds. Just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official. Finally, I'm
Get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show.
And
Come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question. I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right. Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
All right, good morning and welcome in on this Monday edition of the podcast that we are figuring out the name for very soon. Right now, it's the No Name Podcast. As we're getting the name and all those details straight. But we appreciate you guys getting here this morning after a fun weekend of LSU baseball. We talked about Thursday night, Friday morning, but LSU completes the sweep over Oklahoma in Norman in the freezing cold weather that has somehow found its way down to Louisiana, as yesterday was cold. This morning was a little chilly. And on, Thursday and Friday, it was scorching hot out. So it was 86 degrees. I'm sweating. And then yesterday, I got to put a jacket on to walk the dog. But LSU baseball impresses over the weekend. They get the job done with a sweep over Oklahoma. Spring break is complete for LSU. Last week was spring break, which was why there was no media availability for football. That is over. The young child has returned to the seat to my left, as Christian has made his way back from Oklahoma.
His better half.
His better half was in Puerto Rico.
All right.
But LSU football media availability will begin again this week. The schedule will be sent out to us today, so we'll know what days to be out there. No practice today, but we'll get back out to the practice field this week to the old Ponderosa to cover the team. LSU men's basketball has added another piece yesterday as Markel Sutton, the number 10 player in the transfer portal from one of the rankings, has joined LSU and committed and signed with Matt McMahon as they've added, I think, their 5th piece out of the portal. They also lose Damian Collins to the portal, the 6'9" big man that really came on strong this past season. He was originally a transfer from Kentucky. He was a 5-star out of high school, actually, but ends up entering the portal later last week, and then they add Sutton yesterday. So a good weekend. Final Four matchups were electric in both men's and women's basketball. UConn is crowned national champions in women's basketball as they dominate South Carolina yesterday. They had Dawn Staley in HE double hockey sticks. She was on that sideline stressing. She's throwing F-bombs out live on TV. She's, face palming. She's hitting her forehead, going through it as AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong, and Paige Beckers just dominated from start to finish. 82-59, UConn wins it. The men will play tonight. I think 7:50 is tip-off time as Florida is the lone SEC team as they defeated Auburn over the weekend, and Houston beats Duke. I guess you could call it an upset. They went on a strong run to end that second half to find their way to victory over the Blue Devils, and they will take on Florida tonight. Walter Clayton Jr. And his legacy tour will continue. But back to what was important. Christian, how was your spring break week in what was it? Broken Bow.
On a Choctaw Indian reservation.
There you go.
Went to the casino for the first time. Lost $25, $30.
Oh, see, you didn't even give yourself a chance to win.
I played the slots. I know roulette would have been the move, or blackjack or something.
Blackjack's the move.
Man, the slots are addicting. You just sit there and click the button, and the sounds are cool. My dopamine's hitting, and yeah. The only bad part about the casino is there was no smoking section.
Oh, I was about to say, you got to light up I'm way up here. You got to light a cigarette, and then or just bum one off the old people. Like you could find yourself a new grandmother there.
Well, when I had my own, and I had to go outside to smoke, and it was kind of miserable. I wanted to sit at the little slot machine, get my dopamine going, and hit the button and smoke a cigarette, but can't do that apparently in these Indian, these are the
Indian homes. This is because we took away everything else from them, so we just gave them some casinos.
Yeah, and it was a nice casino, the Choctaw Indian Reservation Casino. Man, it was nice. I think I actually saw some Native Americans there.
Yeah, I think they live there.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
That's kind of the point. But yeah,
it's like go to the museum.
Glad you enjoyed yourself. Welcome back to your daily job, I guess you could call it. How was Puerto Rico?
From what I know, it was pretty good. I'm still in a relationship, so we'll call it like that.
That was my first question we walked in this morning.
To be determined, I guess.
Are we still together or no?
Yes, we are.
How much talking have we done?
I saw her yesterday.
Okay, saw her.
There you go.
Yeah, we talked, most of the trip.
What's the time difference?
An hour.
Oh, it wasn't bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It
was all right.
Good. Glad to hear it. And you're seeing her today, I hear.
We got a lot of time to make up for.
Yes. Yes.
Make up for lost time.
Yes, another date today.
There you go. Charlie Tissler in the chat, broke back Christian. Christian, a.k.a. Sugar Bud.
Yeah.
Glad you're back, Christian. Get ready to get back to the practice field to get some content this week.
Yes.
The spring game open practice is this Saturday, as LSU will get out, and I'm sure in Tiger Stadium, and fans will be able to watch them practice and get autographs and photos after. We'll have our content guys out there as well, as one of our guys, Trevor, is in China.
I did see that.
Has flown out yesterday morning to China.
Shanghai.
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah.
But the real news, LSU baseball over the weekend put together one of the most impressive performances from a pitching standpoint that you can. 0 earned runs is the money stat for LSU baseball this weekend. They threw 5 arms, which is impressive in itself. Kade Anderson goes all the way on Thursday night, complete game, and then you were able to have Ianson and Evans, and then Shores and Cowan finish it off on Saturday. 0 earned runs surrendered by that staff. 5 runs total, I think Oklahoma scored, all unearned over the weekend as LSU rides the pitching dominance to another SEC sweep, as this was their 4th SEC series and 3rd SEC sweep as they took down Missouri, Mississippi State, and now Oklahoma, the only series they lost against Texas. Lloyd, this weekend, what were your biggest takeaways as the Tigers swept the Sooners?
Oh, it's hard not to look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arms used over a weekend series where weather was shit. Oklahoma doesn't seem like really not a lot of juice in that ballpark where it didn't feel like there's a lot of people there. But you're able to, first of all, have Kade Anderson, who set the tone for the weekend by going 135, shutty, doesn't give up a thing, not a lick. And then you go out the next day with Anthony Ianson in an absolute pitcher's duel, and you're able to win that way again, where it seems like Ianson's always playing in these close games. Like, that's also one of the things that continues to happen where he pitches well. And obviously with Shores, I think his best outing as an LSU Tiger since his return from injury. Also, I feel like people are like, oh, I don't know. I think he pitched well. He continued to go through 85 pitches through 5 innings, and then you're able to cap it off with, oh, surprise, surprise, Mr. Cowan is still here. And that was an excellent ability for it. It obviously won't line up to like this. I don't know if they'll ever be able to do it like this again.
Right.
But that's why you swept. When you saw how everybody was lined up and who you used, whether it's Case and Evans, for only having to use those 2 guys, like that's the recipe for LSU to win. I don't think you could really ask Kade Anderson to go out there 135, 9 innings every Friday or every game 1 and be like, oh, we'll just save those other 2 guys. Like, it was a special circumstance, but it sets you up to be able to sweep, which LSU was able to do. And now you look at kind of around the league in SEC play, you have 10 wins? You're trying to get to 20, like you're halfway there, and the biggest thing for me is you've taken care of business against probably the bottom half of the SEC, where if you want to be able to have series against Tennessee and Arkansas, they're both at home, but if you're not going to sweep those series. Like, it doesn't feel like it. You'll be able to hopefully take 2 of 3, but to stack these wins early and have an opportunity to steal 6, and you did it, that's why this LSU baseball team is kind of putting itself to be able to host, and that's all you can ask for. Looking for that trip to Omaha is like, make sure it goes through the box.
Yeah, no, make sure it happens, and it's been impressive so far for the Tigers. They will not be back in the box anytime soon, as this week they head to Thibodeau to take on Nichols on Tuesday, and then they're at Auburn this weekend before they come back into town versus McNeese next Tuesday. So LSU baseball at the sweep, but yeah, beyond impressive. To only score 2 runs on Thursday, 3 runs on Saturday, and to be able to get through and win those games and sweep the series, beyond impressive. And it just goes to show once again the way LSU baseball is able to win series is not one singular way. Like they can win the series multiple, they can win each game in a series a different way. That they are finding ways to win at the highest level against good opponent. Like Oklahoma is a good opponent. Like they are a good baseball team.
Top 10 team.
They are a top 10 team. And even outside of that, like they've got guys in lineup that can hit, that found ways to get on base early on in baseball games. You know, on Thursday they got the bases loaded in the first inning with 1 out. Kade Anderson, 2 strikeouts to get out of it. I think the same thing happened in the second to Ianson on Friday. Shores got in some jams too on Saturday, and they still found ways to get off the bump, get back in the dugout, and get back to the bats. And the LSU offense did just enough, you know, not crushing too many baseballs. Josh Pearson sends some out of the park on, what was that? That was Saturday? No, Friday, game 2. God, I'm ready to get back to regularly scheduled baseball games.
It fucks me up so bad.
It's the worst. Danny Dickinson sends one out as well. But it was good to see that they were finding ways to get runs across. Curiel hitting doubles. Stanfield pulling them, pushing them, hitting it down either baseline. It's not going up the middle of the field, I tell you what. But they found ways to score runs and win. Very impressive weekend for LSU, as other teams didn't have very impressive weekends, as you saw Tennessee fall to Texas A&M over the weekend. LSU was able to go out there and sweep again. This is a very good baseball team. We've said it from the jump, that they're able to score in different ways. But to me, I mean, when you had Anderson go the way he did on Thursday, me and Lloyd talked about it Friday morning. The mindset was sweep. We had John Eads in here talking about it, that it set you up so well for a sweep. But it's not guaranteed. And LSU went out there and made it happen against a very good Oklahoma team. And I was very impressed watching them go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm ready to see them get back on the field as the week continues on. But all in all, good weekend for LSU. And the number's what? Usually 15, Lloyd? You want 15 SEC wins?
I think it used to be 15, but now with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, it is stretched out to 20.
Okay. So, yeah, like Lloyd said, halfway there. You've got 10 SEC wins. You're 10-2 in the league right now. You're already halfway there with Auburn on the docket next.
Auburn, Alabama, then is it Auburn,
Tennessee.
Alabama, Tennessee? Yeah.
Yep. So you've got Auburn next. You want to go make sure you can scratch some across here. Give yourself as much cushion as possible before you take on Alabama and Tennessee at home in back-to-back weekends, who, speaking of good baseball teams, both of those teams are very good baseball teams, which is why it's important to find ways to win as many games as you can in these early-on series. And LSU did that this weekend. I just can't speak enough on how impressive it was for LSU, and just the stat of not giving up any earned runs. You know, it doesn't really answer as many questions as people have on the bullpen, because you didn't have to use anybody outside of your main 5. But it still proved just how good those 5 are. And those 5 are going to find ways to win you and keep you in a lot of baseball games, especially when you have those 2 guys coming out of the bullpen with Evans and Cowan. It's going to be hard to lose a baseball game when you can go from your starter to one of those 2 on any given night. So...
No, that's the most that, I mean, like, you're right. It did kind of delay the question of have you found the answer in the bullpen,
Right.
because you used your constants, right?
Yes.
You know what you have when you're through 3 starters, and you know what you have with Casey Evans and Zach Cowan. Like, those are your 5 best bullets that you are going to use every weekend. And so you're still waiting to see who that next guy would be, and because of Kade Anderson being able to go a full game, you didn't have to answer that question, which is why after it happened on Thursday, we were saying on Friday, like, this sets you up to be able to sweep.
Right.
LSU does. But, yes, there's still the outstanding question of who is the other guy, right? You didn't even have to see Newt. You didn't have to see anybody else. They all go well rested. But I guess it's not going to be – mum is the word on Yetsky, huh? I guess terrible pitching coach.
Yeah, no.
Still bad?
All the
no earned runs, is that good?
All the flack that guy was getting and obviously it was a tough weekend for him personally. To have that performance from his group of guys.
And that, whatever, exactly. Like, he loses his father?
His father.
On Thursday, right? That's when we find out about it.
Right.
And then just to have an all-world performance from his staff, like, that had to be, like, at least a little of a silver lining.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Help me out a little bit so I don't have to make too many tough calls. And also, and I guess the one good thing about turf is you were able to play all 3 of those baseball games. Like, obviously the weather was a disaster, and you could see, I've never seen that many people bundled up. They had like the long, coats. I don't know where they made those.
I have no idea, but it looked miserable.
Yeah,
like I was even looking at the fans, and I was like, respect to you guys, because I'd be sitting in a warm room with the TV on, like I was. But it was just funny. Like, I guess I didn't really realize how cold it was there until I saw Jake Brown step up to bat, and he's got the full mask on with when he runs into the wall, his hat pops off, and he looks bald because he's got the full cover-up on, trying to stay warm. But, the turf played a huge part with how nasty that weather was.
Milam's still sliding. If he doesn't get up, like, he was coming in way too hot, but I mean, obviously, I'm trying to. This is for trying to get to third on a triple.
Yeah,
I can't slow down because I know I'm gonna. You have to start sliding at least at like 45 feet. He could have started to slide, and he would have been able to slide into third. He could have slid directly into the dugout. It was unbelievable how far he got. Like, if he doesn't get up, he had so much juice coming around second. I was like, there's no way, because you've seen like what happens on turf. Same thing happened with the Broswell that people are gonna call like an error. That ball was slick to the touch because all that turf just holds the water. And so you could see when he went to transfer and put it in his hand, he's like, it popped out like an orange. And so I don't really think he deserves there's a little bit of bullshit around that. And I was like, dude, I don't think y'all watched what happened. But still, the slide, I wish he wouldn't have popped up. I wish he just would have kept going straight down the stairs into the dugout.
Yeah. No, and even Curiel one time on one of the doubles, he had to, like, catch the bag like this.
Mm-hmm. And you could
keep himself.
You could see that that's a young man's game because Curiel has played in a lot of turf where he's like, oh, shit, getting away from me, but knew to grab the bag. Milam had no shot. He had no chance. And you saw, you finally got to see Stanfield really empty the tank where he scored from first.
Yes.
Like, I think it was a hit and run, and he gets going. I was like, just send him.
Dude.
And he had play at the plate, great slide. They don't hold on to the tag, but you got to see him finally
unbelievable.
Really get going.
Like, he is unbelievable.
Made some great catches in center, and then, he had 4 hits on Friday?
On Friday, I mean, he was – talk about turn the lineup over.
You couldn't place it any better.
No. It's the way this lineup just does not stop. And then you even have a guy like Josh Pearson. He'd been out of the lineup for a couple games because of the way Fry had been hitting and keeping Brown out there. And you plug and play Josh Pearson, he hits 2 bombs. And you get to the bottom end of this lineup, and you've got Stanfield turning it over, hitting the ball 4 times. Like, it's beyond impressive, the weapons that they have, that they continue to use in different spots to find ways to score runs, to win games. Like, you talk about this, the pitching performance this weekend obviously is the most impressive part, where you give up 0 runs, but then you just look at this lineup and the way it's constructed, it's really lined up perfectly with the way Curiel has owned that leadoff spot.
Continues to get on base.
And Stanfield, the way he is in the 9-hole, where he's getting hits, he's getting on base.
The dangerous thing is Luis Hernandez. If he keeps hitting the ball hard.
Keeps hitting the baseball.
Yeah, I think he had 2 doubles on Friday, like 2 for 5. But if you can have the lineup to go Curiel, Jones,
Dickinson.
What is it? Milam, Tanner Reeves. Like, and then you can find Luis Hernandez in the 7-hole.
Right.
Like, that's what makes this team so dangerous. Because at some point you knew he was going to start hitting the baseball. He did it far too well his entire college career. And now with being able to, like, you thought there would be maybe a tick down in performance just because catching and how much toll it takes on you throughout the year and on your legs. Like, that's why you don't see a lot of hitters that are also catchers. Like, you can have a guy that if you can play great behind the plate and you can hit 240, that's fine.
Right.
Like, you don't see a lot of guys that are Buster Posey, where you're hitting 330 with 25 jacks in college, and also you're gonna like catch every day. So, but to see him kind of get more comfortable in the lineup, get comfortable with his role, and be able to bat seventh, and then you still have power all throughout your lineup with anybody that can leave. And Pearson, just plug and play, whatever. Oh, here's 2 home runs.
Right.
Like, it's crazy that they. And then you have Brown, who continues to get on base, makes a hell of a play in right to kind of because you talk about it. There's a lot of little moments in every game of that series where LSU could have lost it.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't a dominant performance in terms of run differential or anything like that. It was just the way baseball goes sometimes. When you come up and you, like you said, walk 2 guys to get it with nobody out, 2 people on, then Kade Anderson just, strike out,
Right.
pop up. Like, get him out of here.
And then the way the wind was blowing.
Right.
There were a couple times where both teams got a hold of the baseball. And they're hitting it into the jet stream blowing the opposite direction in center field. And I remember vividly one play, I think it was Friday night, where not South Carolina, I'm looking at Dawn Sale on the screen, an Oklahoma batter just got a hold of a baseball. And off the bat, it looked like it was gone. And then it just kind of lingered.
Wind.
And Stanfield found his way around and was able to get underneath it. There were a lot of things that kind of lined up well, and just the way baseball works. And so LSU was still able to go out there and get the job done. But, it's just the defense LSU has is going to travel everywhere. When you're talking about Dickinson and Milam up the middle, this outfield with, whoever you want to put out there. But, Brown, Stanfield, and Curiel can cover ground and are pretty sure-handed. Like in that first inning of Game 3, where 2 of the outs are Curiel making an impressive grab in left and Jake Brown running in the wall and right.
Right.
That defense is going to travel every time. In the games LSU's lost, very rarely has the run different. Even just in the games LSU's playing, they're not giving up a bunch of runs.
No,
because defensively they're so good.
Yeah, the only you didn't have to face the one thing that I guess you would say that the problem is, which is when you get to the other people in the bullpen, it's the inability to throw strikes. LSU didn't walk a ton. That I think Casey Evans had maybe 4 walks, but that's extended outing again for him wherever he has to go 3 1/3. So, yeah, this is a winning formula right now, but it also doesn't. Not every question has still been answered.
Right.
So, but you can feel great about it because, like you said, you go into a place where we've never been before, play a team that is new to the SEC, and it's not great weather. There's not a lot of things to get you excited about it, but instead you make your own juice, and Kade Anderson goes and kind of leads the way. He's don't waste this. And so you're able to see the pitching staff pick up where he left off, and to have no earned runs from the starters, that's unheard of.
No runs, I think, earned runs
at
in
all.
general.
Yeah, everything was unearned.
They had 5. They scored 5 runs total, all unearned. Oklahoma did. So just a beyond impressive performance, especially like Lloyd said, from a mental standpoint of what are you fired up about right now? You're not in front of your fans. The weather sucks. You're not really in front of any fans because the weather sucks. You're far away from home in a place you've probably never been before, and Kade, like Lloyd said, Kade Anderson goes out there Thursday night, creates the juice, and they're able to ride that throughout the weekend and find a way to victory. So, but, it is still very much up in the air of the biggest question mark was not addressed this weekend. As impressive as the win was, as impressive as giving up 0 earned runs is, you didn't answer the biggest question yet. That's still very much in the air of, outside of those 5, who do you have? Well, that, like we said, it wasn't answered because you didn't pitch anybody other than those 5 because Anderson goes a complete game on Thursday night. It's still very much a question, and it's going to have to be answered for this season to continue in the direction it has because this is not a sustainable way of playing weekend series. Kade Anderson's not throwing 135 every weekend.
And you'll be able to obviously get a Tuesday game in that you have to travel again for.
Right.
But you're starting to see the SEC kind of separate itself a little bit with Arkansas and Texas at the top of the league at 11-1, LSU 10-2. Tennessee 9-3. Georgia 8-4. Ole Miss 8-4. So that is Alabama 7-5. That's kind of where you've been kind of lumping all of these teams together, right? Arkansas, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia, like are all teams that Alabama for sure are all teams that like keep an eye out on them. And then you get to Vanderbilt, kind of a sneaky 7-5. You'll play at Auburn 6-6. This is where like the separator comes in. Auburn at 500 at 6-6. Kentucky 5-7. Oklahoma you send to 5-7. Mississippi State to 3-9. Texas A&M gets on the board 3-9. The Fighting Manaries are 2-10. Florida continues to just shuffle it along. At 1-11. That's Sullivan. I'm sure he's fun to play for right now. And then Missouri bringing up the rear. Buckshot 0-12. So you swept them. Everybody swept them.
Yeah, everybody swept.
That one doesn't even count.
4 series up to this point, all sweeps. Poor Missouri going through it. But yeah, I mean the upper echelon of the SEC is starting to create.
The cream
some
is
space.
rising to the top.
Yes.
Because I would put everybody at 7-5 or above. Like Auburn is sneaky, kind of like on that doorstep, but everybody else, it's kind of who you expect. In Arkansas, after having one of the, if not the best pitching staff in the country last year, but had no offense, has finally found a way to kind of put some runs up.
Yep.
Obviously, Alabama has maybe the best player in the conference in Liberal.
It could be the best player in the country.
Yeah. And Texas is kind of surprising me at 11-1. I think that
they find ways to win baseball games.
Yeah, LSU. I mean, they went up 5-2 and lost that baseball game, and then they never really had a shot in the Sunday game. But that's not one that I'm like looking back on like, oh, I should have had it. But I do think that you're a better baseball team than Texas. And then Tennessee, obviously, gets in the wrong way of A&M's violent comeback to try to save their years. They 10-runned them on Sunday.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So I mean, somehow A&M woke up and demolished who was the number 1 team in the country at the time. So there will be a new number 1. A lot of people on the social media is wondering if Tennessee was going to get the same treatment as LSU did after they lost to, Texas, where they dropped from 2 to 8, seeing where Tennessee will fall to from number 1. But yeah, the cream is rising to the top, and LSU is without a doubt a part of it, and as a leader in the conference, even though they're not at the top. Who's 11-1? Texas and Arkansas, and then LSU's right there 10-2. So it's going to be a gauntlet as the season continues, but LSU's putting themselves in a good spot, continuing to get sweeps, and LSU will have one of those other, I guess, top half teams this weekend as they will travel to Auburn to take on the Tigers.
I bet they make Texas the
number 1 team.
Yeah.
Texas beat Georgia. They swept them? Or 2 out of 3? Yeah, so it sounds like, they swept them. Georgia's a good baseball team as well.
They are.
The Fighting West Johnsons.
Get to see them. It'll be interesting to see what they do outside of their ballpark.
Georgia?
Yeah, because it is tiny.
It is. It is. There's a couple of little rinky-dink ballparks in the SEC.
A couple bandboxes. We'll have Mikey Matuk returns from his darkness retreat that he took this weekend. So I would imagine he still was able to keep up with LSU baseball, but he sequestered himself and did some retreat without his cell phone.
So what are we going to do, 8:15?
8
a.m. this morning. Mikey Matuk would join us to pick up the conversation on LSU baseball. But yeah, like we said, impressive weekend all in all. Still have the biggest question mark lingering as the season continues. Who will step up outside of your 5 guys? You've got a basketball starting lineup of pitchers you trust right now. You wanna find a way to get some bench depth for your basketball team. But speaking of basketball team, LSU men's basketball, some news there. Victorious Miller officially commits to Oklahoma State as he transferred out of LSU. Corey Chest also committed to Ole Miss. Another LSU Tiger headed to Oxford as well. Deshaun Womack and obviously Sage Ryan. I don't know if y'all saw the quote from Sage last week, but it seems like he's ready to play LSU.
Logan
Diggs also transferred to Ole Miss. Now Corey Chest joins the crew of Tigers heading to Oxford. But LSU doing work in their own right as they add Markel Sutton a 4-star transfer from Omaha, a team that stole one game from LSU this season in baseball. But he's a 6'9" power forward, 225
Oh, we got our lick
pounds.
back.
We did.
Yeah, you think it's funny to beat LSU in baseball?
We just stole your best player.
Just take your best player in basketball.
Just take your best player. He is a 4-star in the portal, one of the top players, and as committed to LSU. Like I said, 6'9", 225. Watch some film on him. Yes, not a, we've been talking about wanting shooters. They went out and they got Max McKinnon last week, the Portland 6'9" wing, or what, maybe 6'6" wing from Australia that can shoot it. Markelle is not a shooter, but if you watch some of his tape, he's got a nice stroke. Like the form looks like that of someone that knows how to shoot the basketball. But he doesn't shoot a very high percentage, but he will take them. 50% of his shots come at the rim. Like, he is a slasher from the truest definition. He doesn't really shoot pull-up jump shots. He's not shooting off the dribble. If he's putting the ball on the deck, he's trying to get to the rim to score. And he's obviously physically gifted at 6'9", 225, and he's a good finisher of the basketball. And so he is what I would call another top player out of the portal from a smaller level of school. I mean, if you look, he's got all the physical tools to be successful at whatever level in basketball. Can finish with both hands around the rim. He's 6'9", 225. So he's got a grown man body. As he's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. And in my opinion, he fits what Matt McMahon wants to do. Where if you look at him, he's got a long wingspan, 6'9". He's got all the ability and tools in the world to be a very good defensive player. Like, that's what Matt McMahon has proven to me, what he's looked at when he's looking at some of these guys he's brought in, like Rashad King and Markelle Sutton and Nwoko, is he knows they have to be better defensively. They have to be able to rebound, which is something that Markelle can do very well as well. I think he averaged 19 and 8, 19 points, 18 boards. But he's a very talented player, and you can see the film here from the Summit League as he played for Omaha. But they did make an NCAA tournament run. He played against some Power 5 schools. And in my opinion, Matt McMahon's put together a pretty good class with his 5th commitment here from Markelle Sutton out of Omaha. They all have one similar aspect to their game, is where transition is a huge piece of who they are. They all are very talented at scoring in transition. I think Markelle's in the 82nd percentile of points per possession in transition. He also has a very good post-up game, where I think he's also in one of the upper percentiles of being able to score in the post. I think he had 1.2 points per possession in the post, which he's getting the ball in the post 16% of the time, which is a very good number because he's got the physical gifts and he can finish around the rim. But back to my original point, Matt McMahon's gone and got guys that are talented in the transition aspect of the game. They want to run. They want to get the ball and go. They can finish at the rim. They can create plays. When you look at Rashad King, Markelle Sutton, and DJ Thomas, to me, those three are transition guys. Max McKinnon can make plays. In my opinion, you're bringing him in because you need shooting from the outside. DJ Thomas is the guy you expect to be a star. Markelle Sutton's right there with him, and Rashad King has the versatility and the transition ability to make things happen. This is a pretty good shooter. There he is. Max McKinnon.
Dangerous.
Looks like Christian.
Don't leave the white boy in the corner.
Yeah, shooter. I mean, and whenever you look at when I was coaching at Central, if we were making a scouting report for Max McKinnon, it would just say stereotype first, like just period, like stereotype period. And what I mean by that is when you see a white man on a basketball court, the stereotype is you better close out hard because he's going to shoot it. And as you see it there, Max McKinnon shot 41% from 3.
Dunk it.
But he's got some physical tools. But he's a playmaker as well. He can swing the ball. But he's coming to LSU to shoot the basketball. These guys like DJ Thomas, Rashad King, and Markelle Sutton are coming in to do the rest of the dirty work. So Matt McMahon and LSU, there was pressure this offseason, still is pressure, that they needed to go out in the portal and make moves. They've done that so far through 5 additions, and I expect them to continue to make more additions as time goes on, as they've had some guys like Damian Collins this past week enter the portal. That's going to open up some room for some more talent as well. But Matt McMahon's done a good job in the portal so far. But I do understand the mindset of still being in the prove it place. Like on Twitter, I see 2 different kind of mindsets where you have guys like Jason Ramazan, who's a friend of the show and a big-time LSU basketball performer, supporter, and he's all in. Like he sees the team McMahon's putting together. He's all in on them being a tournament-type team. And then there's the other guys that are, I need to see it to believe it, prove it. And I'm more on that side of I need to see it to believe it. But it is impressive the way Matt McMahon has gone out in the portal and gotten some of the top guys and gotten guys that kind of all fit a similar mold of they're going to defend, they're versatile, they bring length, and on top of that, they have other abilities where they can play make, they can score, they can shoot. Like they have their ability that they were brought here for, but then they have a lane that they all kind of fit in together. If they can defend and they can get out and run, this will be a very special team. And that's, in my opinion, what Matt McMahon is building this team to be. One of those teams that's going to defend until the end and get out and run in transition and find easy ways to score besides having to run half-court offense. One thing about Markel Sutton that impressed me the most is his ability to move without the ball. If you watch some of his film, there are multiple times that he is backdoor cutting. He's backdoor cutting and then sealing to get a post drop-off over the top. And that he's finding ways to score without sitting in the corner and doing things that kind of let the offense be stagnant. There were a lot of times where LSU would have stagnant possessions offensively this past season where they weren't able to get any type of rhythm because they were just kind of stopping and things weren't happening. You need guys that are willing to move without the basketball in their hands, and that's one thing that Markel Sutton excels at. And I'm excited to see what Matt McMahon continues to put together because I do think the expectations are rising. As much as people are in a wait-and-see mindset, the expectations are higher because of the team he's put together.
Is it still kind of, would you say, surprising to see who he's bringing in and who they're able to get?
Yeah, no, I mean,
because they've always dabbled in the portal, right?
They brought in a handful of guys here and there, but now they're getting these upper kind of level guys that are it's still not power 4 type transfers. Like they're not getting the point guard from Pitt or the guy from UCF that committed to Auburn. Like they're not at that level yet. But you have to. It's a building block type of thing where if you look at Florida right now, Iona had a guy named Walter Clayton Jr. 3 years ago on their roster. He was the number 40 guy in the portal at the time. Florida went out, saw what they saw, liked him, brought him in, and now he's very well the best player in the country right now. Outside of Cooper Flagg, the best player still playing. He went out and carried Florida with 37 points against Auburn to get them in the national championship game. You're going to have to build through some of these smaller schools, these smaller programs. Get the guys you like that fit your mold and are built physically. Like Markel Sutton, he's 6'9", 225. He's going to get to LSU, and he's already built to withstand this league. Bring those guys in. Now, Markel Sutton's going to be a one-year guy, but you're hoping DJ Thomas can stick around for more than just 1 year. Some different guys that you've brought in, and as well as those freshmen that are going to be homegrown type talents. But right now, where LSU is in the transfer portal, they are doing as much as they can. They shouldn't be expected to go get power 4 top transfer guys from big schools that are, making a money grab essentially. What they should be going to get are the top mid-major group of 5 guys that they can get, bring them in and develop them, put them in a system that's going to fit their playing style, find ways to win games, make the NCAA tournament. And I think right now the expectations have risen because they've done as much as they can in the portal. For where LSU is as a program, they're doing as much as they can to get back. It's going to take some time to get to the Florida level, the Auburn level, the Tennessee level of the SEC. But it shouldn't take a lot of time to get to where Missouri was and to where Vanderbilt was, where you're just getting in, maybe stealing a game, where you're a competent team in the league. It should take one offseason to get there. It should take 2 or 3 more to get to that upper part of the SEC, and that's where LSU is right now. Carl Dunn in the chat, I'm putting all my chips in with LSU basketball. I think some people are getting won over by these portal additions, but Mark Cumby's correct. We won't really know until SEC play. That's for sure. That's the correct mindset to have, and I'm right there with you. You'll find out who these guys are when they lace them up against SEC talent. But from where you can sit right now, LSU's done what they can do to be a competitive team in the league next year, and to continue to grow. They're moving in the right direction. Brian Burgess, there are a lot of LSU fans who aren't giving Coach Matt McMahon any credit. Some started a thread that if Wade were still the coach, LSU would be where Florida is today. I don't really want to touch on the Wade stuff so much, but if Will Wade was still here, LSU would still very much be in the upper echelon of the SEC. Matt McMahon had a tough assignment to come in and rebuild this program from the depths of where it was. And to me, this offseason is a step in the right direction anyways, because you're proving you can go out and get guys and you can raise the money to do so. And now it's up to Matt McMahon, once he gets the guys in here, do something with it. Make that tournament run. And I'm excited to see what they can do because they've put together a solid group of transfers, and they still will continue to do so. I still think they need one more go-to guy on offense, and maybe adding some size as well, and probably some shooting because they still need a little bit more from a shooting standpoint. But I think this team is coming together nicely. The expectations are rising for Matt McMahon and LSU. So, which is always a good thing. You want expectations. That's been the most upsetting part for LSU basketball as of late, is there hasn't really been expectations to perform. Going into year one with McMahon, the expectations weren't the highest. Year two, they still weren't very high, and he in my opinion, overachieved that season. He outdid the expectations that he had. P-Dub, the hurdle to overcome is understanding these moves may have raised the ceiling, but they've raised the floor more than anything. Yes, it has raised the ceiling, but more than anything, the floor has been raised. You are no longer as bad as you were last season. You have become a better basketball team from a roster standpoint than you were, just from the talent that you're bringing in compared to the talent you had last season. The floor has been raised. Now it's up to the coach to get that ceiling raised and to reach that level. So 100% PW, you are correct. Mark Cumby, I'm just looking to make the NCAA tournament, not the NIT, and maybe win a first-round game. That's the expectation. That's where it lies right now. Get in the tournament. Maybe steal a game, maybe not, but get in the dance, play in March in the NCAA tournament.
I just want to see it not look the way that it did at the end of the year.
Yes.
When it was, what was the number of turnovers? Like you're averaging like 12 to 15.
16.
You can't. That's just not winning basketball. You can't win that way. And how disjointed they looked, and then when it became probably like middle of the year, very obvious. If you stopped Cam Carter, you were going to stop LSU's basketball team.
Yes.
And once that was figured out, where they just started doing ball denial against him, and LSU kind of looked around, it was shot clock still rolling, boys.
Yep, got to find a way to do something.
And so to have more viable threats offensively, and to have a team that seems like constructed to play well together, where you're building it with the plan. You have a true point guard. You have guys that can go attack the rim. You've added a shooter. And then you have size down low that when you look at if it's Robert Miller coming back, which I think we all hope he does because he showed flashes of being a all-SEC type player. And then you have Givens, you would hope to come back and get him another year. And then you added in Nwoko for size down. Like it looks like it's constructed to be a team that should be able to play well together.
100%. As much as, like I said, they've all been brought in for a specific skill that they have, they still fit in this lane together of defend, get out and run, and do those types of things. So we'll get more into that as the week rolls on, and the moves that they continue to make. LSU women's basketball also working in the portal as well. We'll get to that too. But we have Mikey Matuk, number 8, joining us at 8:10 to talk 8:10.
He just texted me.
Just pushed it back a little bit.
Said
Ruined
he wanted to take
my transfer.
I know.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm not mad at him.
It's not a very 8 move.
It's not. You weren't number 810. 810 was not on your jersey.
You were number 10.
You were number 8.
Leaders. Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Come on.
Say 8 o'clock.
Let them know. Meet at the shop at 6:30 means be at the shop for 6:30.
6:15.
There you go. But yeah,
Coach
LSU,
Tomlin.
LSU basketball making moves in the portal. But we'll get back to the LSU baseball conversation with Mikey Matuk.
Rankings are out.
At 8:10. What?
New baseball rankings are out from
let's
Baseball
hear 'em.
Live
Live reaction here.
Who do you
Christian's
think?
face on
Why
camera,
don't you?
too.
Why don't you do 1, 2, and 3?
Okay. I think Texas is 1.
2.
They're 2. I'm trying to think of who else would be in that top 3.
What Arkansas do?
Arkansas is in the top 3.
They just scored 50 runs in 3 games
So they're
against
1.
Missouri and swept. Yeah, they're 1.
So Arkansas, Texas, LSU.
Yep.
Really, LSU jumps to 3. There we go.
No way.
Yeah, Tennessee at 4 and Clemson. Oh yeah, shocking. And then
Live
Clemson at
reaction.
5.
There you go. LSU number 3 in this Baseball America.
Yes.
So Arkansas, Texas, LSU,
Tennessee, Clemson. Only
5.
8 more polls to come out.
Yes. Only 8 more baseball polls to let you know where.
Thank God they
LSU
have
stands.
a tournament. Like I could imagine what they did before this. Where you have this, like you know how it used to be in football, like we're the national champions. No, we're the national champions. We're the AP champions.
2003.
Well, we have Baseball America, D1 baseball, baseball prospectus. Like okay,
Yeah,
but
perfect game.
Baseball America, probably the best name.
Yeah,
Perfect
but I
game.
feel like D1 baseball is the
they rule the roost. It feels like they've kind of taken over that, but I feel bad for them because they always catch a lot of shit for whether it be Texas or Texas A&M as they keep to make them like ranked number 1.
Right.
And now Tennessee, obviously, and LSU fans are quick to judge.
So I wonder if what'll differ in the other polls.
I think this is probably going to stand pat.
You think
You
so?
could see LSU move to 2, but after what Arkansas did, I mean, it was Missouri. Thank God LSU swept Missouri because they're garbage.
They're terrible.
And you had to have a Case and Evans legacy game,
7-6 win.
7-6 win, and the
on
box was
Saturday.
kind of elite.
Yeah.
Didn't think you'd see it that early, so thank God they swept that series because it would be everybody be looking back at it.
It
and
would
going,
be quite the blemish on your schedule if they
Missouri
did.
had one SEC win and it's against
SEC.
LSU in the box, like this team can't win.
Ugh.
But
Yeah,
not the case.
Not at all. Not at all. So I like LSU at 3. I think Arkansas
Better than
deservedly so. Yes, should be number 1. And LSU shouldn't jump Texas because Texas did win that series.
The Yeti Yard.
Just from a political standpoint, LSU deserves to be behind Texas. But those are the only 2 teams I would put ahead of LSU right now. And I think the 4 teams that are the top 4 right there, Arkansas, Texas, LSU, Tennessee, it's the cream of the crop in the country. Mm-hmm. Those are the 4 best teams in baseball. Are there some other good teams? Yeah. And maybe I got a little bit of SEC bias.
A little.
Because that's what I watch more than anything else. But those 4 teams are a little bit different when you're talking about Arkansas, Texas, LSU, and Tennessee. So LSU baseball this week will be in Thibodaux at Nichols for that rescheduled game at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then at Auburn this weekend, 6 p.m., 2 p.m. for LSU baseball. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, finally back to regularly scheduled programming. No more stupid.
Well, we'll take it.
Thursday, Friday,
Because it does mean you're playing on the
national
big
TV.
boy schedule.
It
Yeah.
just really screws
But it really
with my
does.
brain.
Yeah.
Of
Friday night go.
sorry,
on Thursday.
Game 1.
Okay.
Whatever.
We all watched.
Randy Jones can't ever get mad at Mikey 8. He's an icon with a lifetime pass.
No, yeah, they that video of me and him. I think I saw it on like the show TikTok, and all people said, "Is that Mikey Matuk?"
Yes.
Yep.
Is that Mikey?
Look at him, the legend.
It's funny.
That's so funny.
You did sneak him in there a little bit in that
And
video.
had to.
Yep. No, great content. Good job, Lloyd. Mikey was a little upset we stole it, but
hey, it said it
content
was all out there
creates
to be
itself,
reposted.
buddy. Yep. You can use it.
I didn't sign off on Mike's up to use it. It's my content.
There you go. Yep. You want it, you got to pay me.
My content isn't your culture.
Yeah, you got to pay me for it. We can get money from somewhere. Somehow.
OnlyFans.
I mean,
we were OnlyFans of LSU baseball that night.
There you go.
Could have posted it.
Could have. But yes, like we said, we'll get back to the conversation with LSU baseball with Mikey Matuk at 8:10. So we'll take a quick break now to get it all set up and ready to go as Mikey will join us
I'm gonna start
very
doing
shortly.
pedicures and taking pictures. Posting them on OnlyFeet.
Feetfinder.com.
That's right.
There you go. Somebody's got. I mean,
before and afters.
We got to bring money in around here some way.
That's right. So donate.
At least me and you.
Yeah. Hit the Venmo.
Some people still make money.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon and get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225, and he done link with Big Foe. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamins. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Get Gordon and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also, stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Hey, Chino. Cut my headphones up, bro. You right there? What up? Now I'm focused on getting deposits. Evil in the way, now I'm just driving around it. They said I need a soul searching, I already found it. I unlocked my other side, now I'm sounding.
All right, we are back here. Hour number 2 officially underway. We're getting back to the LSU baseball conversation with the one, the only, Mikey Matuk as he joins us this morning. Mikey, appreciate you joining us. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are y'all doing? Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, we got more jerseys behind us this morning.
Yeah, there you go. It's my house. We're at my house this time. Yeah.
But we appreciate you getting in here with us this morning. Obviously, this weekend was pretty impressive, starting with Thursday night. We'll talk about Thursday night and Thursday night alone for a second. Kade Anderson and his performance on Thursday night. I'm not going to ask anything too specific. I'll just let you take it away with what you saw on Thursday.
Yeah, I've been a huge Kade Anderson fan since the day he stepped on campus. Obviously super highly touted coming out of high school in Covington, St. Paul's, and then he comes to LSU, and you can just kind of see how the fastball jumps out of his hand, and he has this great breaking ball, and he has the ability to, attack guys and get swings and misses on pitches in the zone, which is huge for an ace. And, he had to go through his ups and downs his freshman year, but the whole time I wanted to see him start, right? I want to see him get more innings on the mound. And then I was hoping this year he would take the jump, and boy, has he taken the jump, right? So from day one, he has been the ace. He has been the Friday night guy, and he has looked like an ace through the entire year. Last week, he didn't have his greatest start. It wasn't necessarily awful. It was just, he was leaving some balls over the middle of the plate. He wasn't as pinpoint as he has been throughout the course of the year. Gave up some homers. Didn't go as long as he had wanted to go, but showed me ace stuff by being able to grind through it, being able to come back out there and get that one out in the 5th, and then kind of set the guys up for them to make a comeback. I wanted to see how he responded this week, and he exceeded any expectation I had of him. Complete game shutout. He gets in that first inning jam with the base loaded 1 out. And it wasn't even a bad, really bases loaded situation. He had a 2-strike, give up a 2-strike hit against I guess he struck out the first guy, give up a 2-strike hit on the next guy. And it was kind of like an auto swing for that guy. He was just kind of surviving. Ball set up in the zone. He got the barrel on it, found the 6 hole. And then the next guy hit it into the shift. Obviously they were shifting away from him, got the base hit. And then the other guy worked the walk. So bases loaded 1 out. And then doesn't blink, doesn't flinch, and comes right at the next guy, gets ahead in the count, strikes him out, no problem. Same thing with the third guy, and gets out the inning. And then after that, it was total dominance from him throughout the course of the game. I think it shows a lot that Jay allowed him to continue to go and continue to get to, I think, 135, 136 pitches. Man, I can't speak enough on how impressive he is, one as a human being, but as a actual ace. And that's what ace does. That's ace shit. That's what they do. They go out there and they put the team on their back and they say, hey, watch this. Let me go out there. Don't worry about it. I got you. And he did that.
When you see the amount of pitches at 135, A, have you ever been a part of a game where you've seen that many by one guy? And B, do you think it probably was, not only did it get better as the game was going on.
We got a little Kobe appearance.
Oh, let's go. The GOAT.
Look at him.
Also number 8.
That's it.
But have you ever been in a game where you've seen a guy go, whether it be a complete game or even get up to 135 pitches? And B, do you think it was because throwing on a Thursday with his next start probably coming on a Friday where you'd be like, hey, empty the tank here, you get an extra day off?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I mean, I think Paul Skeens got to close to that at some point. I don't know if he got all the way to 135, but I think he got into the 120s a few times. I think the extra day rest obviously helps. And this isn't something you're going to see Kade Anderson do every week. You're not going to see Jay throw him out there for 135 pitches. Having him throw 135 pitches on a one-off game doesn't concern me at all. He has an extra day rest, obviously, coming into this week. And there was a friend of mine who's a head coach in college baseball. We were texting, and he kind of made the analogy, throwing 120 pitches and 135 pitches is like when you run a marathon. 135 is 26 miles, and 120 pitches is 21 miles. So it's not like it's that big of a difference. It's not that much more stress on the arm. He's going to have a full time to recover. And it was a complete game shutout. He had the opportunity to do that. He wasn't tiring. He wasn't losing guys. He still had his fastball. He still had the ability to get guys out. And Jay saw that. And for as much as Jay likes to match up game and likes to put guys in situations to succeed, he also has a great baseball eye. And we've started to see less of that in baseball, where analytics kind of takes over and you go this many times and this guy comes in and throws that, and they treat these guys like robots, and that doesn't always work out. And so watching Jay being able to look at him and say, okay, I see what's going on. I see that we have a 2-run lead and he has a complete game shutout and he has complete control of this game. I'm going to let him ride this out until he shows me he can't do it.
And to speak on the rest of the arms, obviously an impressive weekend where LSU gives up 0 earned runs, only 5 runs given up, all unearned. Outside of Kade Anderson, the next 2 days, 4 guys go, only 5 arms pitch in total. Speak about the performance from Ianson and Evans and Shores and Cowan throughout the rest of the weekend.
I think you saw what the rotation is capable of doing. I think that coming into the season, I think everybody assumed that you had at least 2 aces, right? You didn't really know what Ianson was because you hadn't seen him pitch in the SEC. You saw what Chase Shores had done early on his freshman season and just wanted to see him kind of get back in stride and kind of figure it out. But you knew his ability to be an ace-type pitcher. You knew what Kade Anderson can do. So I think this weekend was the first weekend, especially in the SEC, that all 3 guys I think the first couple weekends they all threw 5+, but in the SEC it's a different animal on the road. Bad, wet, cold, chilly, nasty weather against a top 10 team who's been playing good baseball. And so I think you saw what this rotation can do. I have been unbelievably impressed with Ianson as well. People give him, for some reason, people don't want to give him the credit that he deserves. Oh, he's not efficient. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. I thought he was great on Friday. And I think you're seeing Chase Shores slowly become the guy that we all expect him to be. And I'm looking forward to watching what he looks like at the end of the season, because every start he's gotten better and better and better. You can't expect LSU to only use 4 pitchers or 5 pitchers every weekend. That would be unbelievable. I mean, but that's not going to be the situation. You saw the top 2 guys out of the bullpen do the same things that they've been doing all year. Casey Evans has been electric and lights out, and Zach Cowan, same thing. You're going to have to rely on some of the other guys in the bullpen. I truly do believe that those guys are going to step up and be better and continue to get better. But when you have a weekend that sets up this way, and you have a guy who throws 9 innings on game one, you don't use anybody else. It sets yourself up for success, not just this week, not last weekend, but the weekends following because of that potential and that ability.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, talking about the lineup, obviously there's been much talked about how this lineup has the ability to just get after pitchers 1 through 9, and to talk about that 9-hole specifically and the way Chris Stanfield was able to attack the plate this weekend, especially Friday night. Just talk about him and the job he's done.
Yeah, look, that's another guy people don't give a lot of credit to. He's not. Why is he in the lineup? We have all these other guys hitting. Well, he's in the lineup because he's hitting over 300. So everybody needs to chill out with that. He's getting on base. He's electric when he's on base. He can score from first base on doubles at any time in the game. He's electric in center field, and I think he's a prototypical 9-hole. I think he's a great guy at the bottom of the lineup. He turns the lineup over. He's getting on base, and he's allowing the top of the lineup to have RBI opportunities with him at the 9-hole. And this weekend it was huge for him. Listen, those conditions are not easy to hit in. Like, that is not fun to play in as any baseball player, but specifically as a hitter. And it's chilly, it's rainy, it's cold. On Thursday you could see balls that were getting hit to center field that are going nowhere. The one's blowing straight in. So it's not easy to do that. And to be able to have him at the 9-hole and to be able to win games in different ways and not be able to drive balls necessarily in the gap or over the fence, I think it's a huge asset to our team. And, the ability for him to go out there and get in center field is just an added bonus.
Yeah, and I think the ability for Curiel, adding him and having him be able at the top of the lineup makes it so much easier on Stanfield to be able to bat 9, because I do think you'd have a different version if he was in the leadoff spot. Speaking of one more person in the lineup that is now – you said he hadn't done shit? I think he's done some shit. Luis Hernandez is now batting .310 on the year. He's went 6 for 12, 3 doubles, and that was just this weekend. 4 of his 5 homers in SEC competition and holds in .340 in conference play. Talk a little bit about how much his addition to the lineup makes LSU dangerous.
Let's move the offense on the side just for a second, because his ability to catch and what he's done behind the plate, there's a lot of question marks behind the plate. You have a highly touted freshman coming in who I think is going to be really good. I really do think Aaron Beatty is going to be really good. Luis Hernandez came in. He didn't catch a ton last year. We didn't know what he was going to be able to do, and he has been awesome behind the plate. He has been a guy where you're not talking about his catching ability being bad. He hasn't done anything to where you're looking at like, oh my God, this guy's not good. So I think that's the number one thing that stands out the most to me. We all knew he could hit. He was hitting 358, 360 with 23 last year at Indiana State. You want to see it translate. It's a lot different when you're an everyday hitter, when you're an everyday catcher and hitting. Last year he was more of a DH, so he had his legs were fresher. He had to it was easier for him to kind of stay fresh at the plate and have really good at bats and not feel exhausted. He had to adjust to that. I think you saw that early in the season. I think a lot of people thought, oh, it's going to be a struggle on the SEC side early on, and he's going to figure it out, right? When I say he hadn't done shit, that was way early in the season, and he hadn't done anything yet. It was like 2.5 weeks, and it wasn't an insult. It was, hey, I think he's going to. He just hasn't done anything yet. We're waiting for him. Once he kind of figures it out, that just puts another piece of the lineup, and that just makes the lineup a lot more dangerous. And so he's figured it out. He looks comfortable. What do we say, Lord? He's hitterish.
Hitterish.
So I said, and right before the season started, I said, man, he looks really hitterish at the plate, which is a great thing to be. And he has figured out the game. He has kind of made the adjustments. He's gotten comfortable. He understands what it is to catch and hit. And, he's playing his best ball in SEC play, which is what you want from him. And, I think the best is still yet to come. He's starting to get hot. This feels like his, hot zone right now. He had a big weekend. He's hit some home runs in SEC play. I think you're going to see him get to another level here over the next couple of weeks.
How quickly people forget you're the one driving the Luis Hernandez bus early in the year, and then one comment gets taken out of context, like, oh, he hates him.
One comment. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild.
I deemed him hitterish.
Yeah, it's wild. I loved him. I loved him as a hitter. I loved the way he approached the at-bats. I like the way he looked at the plate. I just wanted to see it, and it's when you come into a new place and you want to have a good first impression, that's a lot of pressure on you. That's hard to do, and he had to figure out his way, and I had no doubt he was going to do it. But at that time, he really wasn't doing anything yet. But I had no doubt he was going to get to this point.
Do you think that with his addition into the lineup that you see a change in where people are hitting in the lineup? I wouldn't mess with it personally as of now because it feels like everybody's kind of settled into where they are. But it is a power bat that you could – I mean, right now he's hitting 7th that you could move potentially up in the lineup.
Yeah, I think you may see him slide up and down depending on matchups or depending on, how things continue to pan out. Look, Fry's been lights out too, right? He's kind of been in that 4-hole cleanup spot whenever he's DHing. And, Pearson, I mean, can we talk about him at some point in this show? Because what a guy that guy is. He just, hey, you're not going to play for a few games and you're going to come in and you get homers. That's just homers. What he does. Yeah, you're gonna just do what we need you to do. But you have all those guys that have really accepted their role, and I think you could see him slide up and down. But don't fix us. Don't fix us, don't broke, or whatever the saying is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go.
There you go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's swinging the bat really well, so you don't want to really mess with that. You want to continue to keep him in this kind of rhythm and keep him hot and see what happens after that.
Third base, Tanner Reeves got all 3 starts this weekend. Do you think that there was a change in mindset of no longer platooning and kind of sticking with a guy, or was it just kind of playing the odds?
That's a good question because I don't know. I believe that Braswell is going to continue to get opportunities and continue to get starts. I think Jay has shown that he's going to play guys that if he feels that those guys are the best opportunity for the team to win in that day. There's no rhyme or reason, or I say rhyme or reason. There's no favoritism,
right?
As far as, hey, you're going to play here because I like you better than that guy. It's a lot of it has to do with, hey, do you give us the best opportunity to win? And it felt like that he gave him the best opportunity to win this weekend. But I do think Braswell is going to continue to get opportunities.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your time this morning. Obviously, have a great show tonight. Enjoy some what you got, Lloyd?
Are we on Jake Brown watch for tonight? People are asking.
We're working on trying to get some guys. I'm gonna reach out to Jake and see if he can. Hey, what a play by Jake Brown!
Oh my goodness!
Can we talk about that?
Yes.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Because and listen, I was out of commission all weekend. All right, my phone was off. I'll be honest with you. Yesterday and last night, LSU baseball day for me.
Yeah.
I went back and I recapped and I watched all the games and I wanted to just kind of, I had to score. I was getting score updates from other people that were not
committed.
Yeah, didn't have it, and so so I knew LSU had won. I knew what the scores were. Kind of knew what some of the pitching lines were, but that's really all I knew. And so I wanted to see how they got there. Did that yesterday. And, man, what a play by Jake. People look at what happened last year in the postseason on that one play over shoulder. This play was very similar to that. Hit it right at him, over the shoulder, at the wall. Last year, he, freshman out there, he didn't really, he probably had an extra step to go. This time, made the adjustment, jumped against the wall. I mean, an unbelievable play. And to me, that shows growth. That shows maturity, and I'm very proud that he was able to make that adjustment. Because, listen, as an outfielder, that is a hard freaking play.
Mm-hmm.
Over your head, going right behind you with the wall, that is an extremely hard play, and he executed it flawless, and that was awesome.
Yeah, at some point you just have to say, I know it's back here, fuck it, I'm probably going to run into it at some point. If you don't have if you don't have the wall.
The more you're out there, right, the more you're out there, the more you know how many steps it takes you to get to the wall, from the warning track and those types of things. And, man, it just takes time, experience, and reps. And obviously he's had those. And so that was an unbelievable play.
And for, obviously LSU gets the sweep. But when you look at, the margin of victory in that series, it wasn't easy. LSU, there was moments in that game we talked about Kade Anderson when he started off, kind of has people in scoring position. The first inning, he's able to wiggle out of a couple of jams. Same thing with Ianson. Same thing with Shores, where they get in these spots, and you're like, all 3 of these games could have gone a different way. I like to think that because of how good they are defensively, that plays a major factor in what the pitchers are allowed to do or feel confident doing.
100%. I mean, SEC is going to be a grind. I mean, you saw the other weekend matchups, right? Which, by the way, Lloyd, I think I was pretty close on all my weekend series.
Hey, bounce back. I mean,
Auburn won. A&M, we didn't pick A&M. A&M beat Tennessee. Auburn beat Alabama.
Vandy?
It's Vandy won, right? So you have Florida stinks, by the way.
Are they just bad? I haven't watched them play.
I don't know. I mean, they can't win. I don't know if they're bad or they're just giving up. But
1-11.
Stink. Yeah, they're not good.
Missouri 0-12.
Yeah, well, that was expected, I think. But you see how tough the SEC is week in and week out. A&M was scuffling. They beat the number 1 team in the country 2 games out of 3 after losing game 1, right? And they won 2 games in a row to win that series. And so to be able to win games close, win 2-0 games with your ace going a complete game, be able to win a 3-2 game on Sunday with your number 3 starter and feel like, there were some moments where you felt like you were challenged, but to feel like you were going to win that game the whole way, right? And then to go middle of the game, say, we're going to win 10-2 and kind of take this game. It shows the how deep this team is. It shows how good this team is, and it shows that they can win in a bunch of different ways, which is what you need when you make a World Series run.
That's what we were talking about that a little bit before we had you on. We were recapping, like, as exciting as it is to see the sweep, you still have that one question that's still unanswered. Like obviously you have Kade Anderson have a complete game. Like, you can't expect that to happen every week. So while it feels like you checked off a lot of boxes, there's still that one box left unchecked with who is that 3rd or 4th guy out the pen. And I don't know if there's no way to tell as of right now, but would you still see that's a concern? Is that a bracelet?
Yeah, it's part of the retreat. Part of the retreat.
You took some home with you.
Yeah, part of the retreat.
Did you get me one?
Yeah, part of the retreat. No, you have to earn that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think you've earned that one.
It's like a rosary.
Yeah. Do I think that's a concern? Yes and no. I mean, I think ideally you would love to see them have 5-6 guys out of the bullpen. That would be like the ideal situation. I think you're going to see guys, but you have 2 guys for sure that you count on. And then after that, it's going to be you're going to have to step up when your number's called. In 2009, that's how it was with us. We didn't have a million guys that we could just throw out of the bullpen. We had a bunch of guys that, hey, when their number was called, they figured it out and they got the job done in the situation that they needed. And so this is not a major league.
Through that door.
But Chad threw 7 innings and he didn't throw all year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a major league bullpen where every guy is getting paid all this money to go out there and do their job. And so these guys are young and they're still developing. I do believe that by the end of the season, you're going to have your rotation and you're going to have your bullpen that has about, 5 or 6 guys, including the top 2 guys that you have right now that you can seriously count on. And the fact that you got 2 guys coming out of the bullpen that can give you 3 to 4 innings every single time, that really, really does help the depth of your bullpen.
All right, real quick, we have a couple from the chat. Andrew Messina asked Mikey. Usually ask Mikey and Mitch, but there's only Mikey. Is there?
Ask Mikey and Mitch on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yeah. Transfers over to a Monday right quick. Ask Mikey.
Yep.
Is Cowan a first-round guy? Is that Cowan first rounder?
Oh.
I
don't think so.
Yeah. And that's no slight. It just doesn't have no
slight.
Round.
No slight to him. There's just a lot of guys that first round's hard. Like it's not just based off of stats, unfortunately. It's based off of stats plus potential plus stuff, all this kind of thing. I do think Zach Cowan is a top 5 rounder.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Zach Cowan has a real good chance to make it to the big leagues because of the way he can pitch and the way he manipulates the strikes and the way he changes eye level and speeds. And when you have an elite pitch like he does with his changeup, you're always able. There's always this chance that you have to make this big run to the big leagues. And so I do think he has a chance to make it to the big leagues. I do not think he's a first rounder, but I do think teams are going to look at him and say they're not going to look at him as that 90-mile-an-hour guy. I mean, he's touched 93 this year, and he's got some velo in there. I think he's going to continue to throw harder. But with that changeup, it's an elite pitch, and I do think that's going to be able to bring him to the big leagues.
Ask Mikey. Kade Anderson, first rounder? Any chance he comes back?
I think he's a top 10. I think he's a top 10 guy. I really do. I mean, I've said that. I mean, you can attest to this. I said that last year. I said he has top 10 pick ability, top 10 pick talent. Our guy Riley McDaniel, is it Riley McDaniel for ESPN, Lloyd, the one that does all the rankings somehow? He has Kade as a back end of the first round guy before this weekend. I think by the end of the year, you're going to see him being talked about. Left-handed pitchers that have that type of stuff, they're hot commodities. I think he's a top 10, top 15 type guy. I think that if he is in the back half of the first round, I think you may be able to see him come back. I don't know if he does, if he's in the top half.
Last one here. How's Diddy at the retreat?
Wow. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. No Diddy at the retreat. Opposite of Diddy at the retreat, honestly.
Oh, he looked pretty slick.
Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy.
Good to hear. But we appreciate your time this morning.
Wasn't that convincing?
No Diddy. We're good. It was a great weekend. It was a great weekend. We talk off air about it, but I recommend it to anybody, no doubt.
All right, well, we appreciate you this morning and every Monday morning when you join us, and obviously have a great show tonight, and we'll see you again soon.
All right, appreciate it, boys. Y'all good one.
Yep,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Lord have
Around
mercy.
with Diddy, it's disgusting.
Question.
That's Mikey. How's Diddy? He's like, what? Huh?
Huh? Stop! Like, he would have slapped you in the face if he could have.
I'm surprised he just didn't shut the laptop. Okay.
No, that'd have been too incriminating.
Right.
If he'd have just closed
He's got
the laptop.
bracelets on now. Probably didn't have. God knows what else happened. Find out.
Live here.
Yeah.
On the unnamed podcast. Still working on the name. Is Tingle / Co's the one?
Tingle & Co. for now until
Tingle
somebody
Co.
comes
You're
up with
part
something.
Of the Co.
Yeah.
He is Co, but you're part of the Co.
What is
you know
Co?
What I mean? Courtney/company.
Right.
Okay.
Tingle & Co. And then also.
And you're Callie.
Callie.
Yeah.
Two Co.
There you
Okay,
go.
it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah, now it's fitting.
And then may or may not have bought a domain name, livelaughloyd.com.
Did you actually?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. That's good. That
I
is
think
good.
Golden bought it.
We should definitely do like a segment, Live, Laugh, Lloyd segment.
No, yeah,
where
we're
you
gonna do
give
the
everyone
art.
advice.
Yeah.
Art and advice.
Yeah,
They
we're
ask
going to
you
get the
life
3
questions.
posters, the Live, Laugh, Lloyd,
There
in
you go.
cursive.
That would be beautiful. You should do your face instead of cursive for Lloyd.
Maybe.
Live, laugh, and then
Lloyd.
boom, your face.
Yeah, so.
But yeah.
Let me sling it. Oh, we got the T-shirts also up, too.
Let's go.
Yes.
What's the website?
ObviousShirts.com.
ObviousShirts.com. ObviousShirts.com. Lloyd showed you the shirts before. They are outstanding. Great ideas from our idea guy over there and his idea family he has.
Yeah, you could say that. We're ideas guys. We thrive on enthusiasm.
you
Execution,
go.
not so much. But we can think of stuff that other people should do for us.
Right.
We'll bring it to the table, but I lack in execution.
Yes, bring it to the table, and then however it gets done,
And
that's
then
on
pawn
other
it
people
off
to
on
figure
somebody else, and then you'd be like, wait, that was my idea.
figure out how to do that. Men's basketball national championship tonight as Florida
Duke really shit the bed, huh?
versus Houston. Yeah, they sure did.
Almost live bet Houston whenever the score was.
I bet Houston before the game.
Oh, nice. Whenever it was like a 6-point game with 40 seconds of it,
Yeah.
like for some reason.
It's got an eerie feeling. That's the worst feeling when you're a fan of the team or on the team that's winning, when you can feel the momentum and just like the crisp air in the gym where you're like, oh, they're going to come back.
Yeah, this feels a little different. What happened?
Right. And it was. Do you have that clip that I texted, the tweet? This clip of Houston's practices explains to you why they're such a dominant defensive team. Because it is impressive the way they practice.
Oh my God.
And then the way they go and defend. I mean, they had Duke in a headlock to finish that fourth quarter.
And it couldn't happen to a funnier like group of people than
Right.
Duke. Like, you don't really want to be in the schoolyard brawl right now. Like
At all.
I don't care who your
As
dad
impressive
is.
as Duke was against Alabama, they got put in a headlock by these guys. I mean, look at this at practice. You don't see this at even the high school level anymore.
They do this at the end of every practice, don't
This
they?
is, yeah. I mean, you just got to want it, man.
Good luck not being the guy that's first on the floor.
Like, this is practice. And these guys are getting paid in a world of NIL. Look at this.
Look, even if it goes out of bounds, it doesn't matter.
Nuh-uh. You got to get the ball.
Like, they're just fighting.
It's like wrestling. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's how you get to it. I mean, shit.
And this is like a breath of fresh air in this world of college sports where it's all, you feel like it's all about money, and that's the stuff that gets shown is who's NIL deal and all. This is like culture. Like this is how you build a team before NIL.
You don't have a choice.
The buy-in, man. Like everyone's personality and mindset. Like watching that right there makes you understand why it looked the way it did against Duke, where they're guarding you from tip to tail.
Yes.
Like in your face, I want the basketball. I want to win more than you want to win. And
it's Kelvin Sampson?
Yes.
Old school basketball coach that hasn't changed at all.
And he's finding guys to buy in.
That want to play this way. Because that's the hardest part, I would imagine, is the hardest thing to do, because it's gotten, I don't want to say basketball has gotten soft. There's some people that are
prima donnas.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Here's my guy in Detroit. He wants to fight.
One? Oh, Isaiah Stewart?
Yeah.
He's looking to fight everyone.
He's one of the, he is insane.
Bad boys.
Because he actually does want to fight.
He's a crazy person.
Yeah. When he tried to go back at LeBron like the third time, it's like, buddy, it's over. It's like, no. Actually, I just got re-mad again.
Yeah.
And I believe that Sampson, they have to shoot 150 free throws at the end of every practice, and they film them and have to and then they go back and break them down to make sure, A, that they all did 150, and B, to correct anything on a free throw.
Right.
Like, I got Tom today.
It's impressive to see, like, watching practices like that make you watch the game in a whole new light, because now you're understanding why
they are the way that
they are the way they are. And, like, to me, for Matt McMahon, he has to find a way. He's not going to get that level of buy-in because he doesn't have that much stock built up in the sport and with the players. But bringing in these guys, he wants to be a team that defends and gets out and runs. You got to find buy-in like that. Even 20% of buy-in like that will go a long way, because it's watching that video of them practice where they are wrestling on the ground, throwing people to the side, running into the wall for the basketball. Like, that's why they're where they are tonight. I do still think Florida wins it, though. As much as I like Houston and obviously practices like that, like, that's a coach's dream, watching a practice like that, like having that much buy-in. I still think Florida gets it done because they have the best player in the country on their team, or the best player in the game on their team. I think Cooper Flagg's the best player in the country, but Walter Clayton Jr. is unbelievable.
Cooper Flagg, didn't he miss some free throws?
He did. He missed the last second shot as well, a little mid-range pull-up that he usually makes.
Not clutch.
But Walter Clayton Jr., speaking of clutch, he is unbelievable. Like, he catches everything. It's off balance. It doesn't matter. It's going up and it's going down when it comes to the second half. I think he had 37 against Auburn in the Final Four, and just put Florida on his back. Carried him. Fonz sport assist with Tingle and Crew. Just talking shop. Layup sports talk.
Slightly biased.
I think Tingle and Co. works.
Yeah.
What, Florida?
No, that's what this account says. Tough shot, sure. Good contest, yes. But if I'm an NBA GM, I can't draft a kid who missed this number 1 overall. Any GM reading this, let Cooper Flagg get to pick 2 to 14, 12 to 14 if you want to save your job.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Now, there are people talking about where Walter Clayton gets drafted. I don't know how you don't pick him in the first round, the way he's performing. Can you pull up the shot he hit against Auburn? I think it was in the corner where he's floating to the baseline and has a hand in his face and just drills it.
Yeah, this is
like toughshot.com. He finds a way to hit these every single game.
Was he this good throughout the year, or is this like a?
He's been good throughout the year, but like he's
on a
March brings it out of you where you need your best guys to step up, and he's done that because he's been beyond impressive all season. But like this is next level stuff, bro.
Because I remember it was Shabazz for UConn.
Yes.
That went on an absolute heater, and then it got him drafted to the Heat.
Right.
Like the 30th overall pick.
I think he was actually like lottery got picked, and that's when he told LeBron to come back to Miami. I mean, look at this. That is
doesn't
filthy.
Look like it's supposed to go in.
Down by 4, need it. Like, get the ball in my hands, get it to this guy.
Oh, God. I mean, it's tough to score.
Yeah.
If you're scoring over 30 in a college basketball game, you're cooking.
I mean, this guy, I don't know how you don't draft him in the first round. Splits the double up top. Yep. Against Auburn, who is a heck of a defensive team as well.
Yeah, they're trying to not let him
in
beat
your
you.
face. Finds a way. That's impressive. That's impressive.
So who you got tonight, Florida?
I got Florida winning. I got hit. I would be
remiss to bet
against that guy.
You don't ever bet against a Walter.
No. That's somebody, I think it was Jeff T, was like, you're playing so well, people forgot your name's Walter.
Yeah. Don't make a lot of Walters anymore.
Clayton's game would translate to the NBA with the one-on-one that's played. No, he's an NBA player. Like, I don't know how you watch those highlights from that Auburn game and don't draft that guy in the first round. He might even be a lottery pick. But it'll be good basketball tonight. Two very good basketball teams in Florida and Houston. And I'm excited to sit down and watch it. But I'm also excited to do an athletic connection here this morning.
I wanted to show you one more thing that we took away from the weekend. Paige Beckers finally gets her natty.
Yes.
And one person didn't handle it too great.
Yeah.
It's the end for me.
This right here. This part. God, I've been there.
Fuck! God damn it, man. They got beat us by 20 twice.
I mean, it was. And they even took Paige out of the offensive attack, and the AZ Fudd girl was killing them. And it was time for UConn to win it again. It was a nice finish to Paige Becker's college career. And I think the last one they won was 2016.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize it had been that long since they won one. 2016, so it had been 9 years since they won. And, yeah, they had Dawn struggling on that sideline, man. As much run as the Kim Mulkey stuff gets.
Right.
Let's not get upset that because that is a memeable moment. Like, if you're sitting there watching the game on your television, you would look at the TV when that happens and say,
oh my
that's
God.
going to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's going to be everywhere.
And as Gino, is he Paige's dad?
What?
Why is he's like very emotionally involved in her?
Well, I mean, she's been there for a while. She's gone through tough injuries. She's probably one of the most skilled players he's ever recruited.
I feel like he'd have done a disservice to her if he didn't get a national championship.
Yes. And I think they never, I don't even know if they'd ever made it to the game. They might have made it one time in her career. But I think that, it would have been, it's kind of like Caitlin Clark. I bet you her coach cried too because they never got her a ring. But Paige deserved it because she was a trooper and she was balling a couple of games. This was my thing. I wish LSU would have beat UCLA, not just because I wanted LSU to win. I promise you LSU's not going out sad the way UCLA did. LSU's not losing by 30.
They won't lose to 30 to anyone.
Ever. Do I think LSU would have beat UCLA? I mean, not UCLA, UConn? I don't know because UConn was balling. But I can guarantee you they wouldn't have lost as bad as UCLA did because they just got a little more fight in them. But it was I think Dawn said in her post-game press conference, they spanked us, but or maybe they beat us up, but never to the point that we were okay with it or something like that, like the way they fought back through to the end. But LSU wouldn't have gone out like that. LSU can't be that far off from South Carolina and women's hoops. I don't think they are. I just think they need a few more things to go their way. They need size, and that's the one thing they've been missing is interior size. If they can go get that, they'll be in a much better spot. So,
is she gonna be the first overall pick?
Who?
Paige.
Yes. Yeah, she'll be the number one pick. The girl from Notre Dame was supposed to be number 2, but she's coming back. Anissa should be top 5. I don't care about undersized. Anissa Morrow is a top 5 pick. If you watch the way she plays night in, night out, that's a top 5 pick. I, as a GM, as much as you can call LSU bias or whatever, would take her with a top 5 pick for my franchise.
Yeah, just because the measurables aren't exactly what you would think, that you can't. It just had.
You want to
production
talk about
happens.
You want to talk about buy-in and culture, that is a culture creator on your pro. That's somebody that's going to have buy-in regardless of who the coach is, because she wants to play basketball, and that's just who she is and her nature to go out and work the way she does, where she's undersized, but she averaged 20 and 20 in college. Like, that's worth a top 5 pick. So, let's do this athletic connection, and we'll get everything ready to get up out of here this morning as we approach 9 a.m.
They keep threatening us with a timer.
No, we don't want the timer.
No, we don't know.
We're too good for the timer.
Well, last time we panicked.
We did. We did freak out a little bit. All right.
Christian, get your fucking head in the game.
Trying to pay fucking rent, dude.
You should have lost all your money at the casino.
Fuck.
So I wish we could help, but we're struggling over here too, buddy.
They usually send an email to me 3 days before it's due, and I didn't get this email this time, so I'm about to call them pissed off.
Oh, we should do it live on air.
Yeah, let them know.
All right, I will.
Perfect.
All right.
After we do this, let's go. All right. We've got, Nance Michaels.
Buck.
Jim Nance, Al Michaels, Buck, Joe Buck, and then there's one more. Who are we missing?
Hammer.
Who are we missing? Oh, Eagle. Iron Eagle.
Where is he?
Right there next to Nick, between Nick and Horse Collar. There we go. Announcers.
Bingo.
Trying to figure out why Kevin Harlan's not included. For somehow Kevin Harlan got left off there. What else do we have?
Cavalier.
Net.
Piston. Nick.
Net.
Nice.
There you go.
See, that cheers you up.
Good job, Christian.
Tattoo, horse collar. I'm just trying to think of things that are on your neck. I don't know why a tattoo.
Slide. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Anybody in the chat?
What the fuck? What are you
Hammer,
doing?
horse collar, belt.
Blister?
Maybe. Horse collar, tattoo, hammer.
I don't know. These ones are kind of confusing. Nose.
Hammer, belt, blister. They're all things you can do to a bait left. You left the yard, maybe.
Yeah, go do it.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Shoot. Oh, you tattooed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belted, blistered, hammered, and tattooed that baseball.
I don't know if I'll be picking up this microphone.
I don't know if I'll ever pick up this microphone. I pride myself as a man of faith, as that ball is tattooed off of the right field wall.
Oh, he blistered it.
That's awesome.
Never mind.
Are you going to do your rent call, or do you?
Yeah.
You actually are going to do it?
All right, come on.
For quality assurance purposes, this call may be recorded.
All right, let me get him on the phone, then I'll put it on speaker.
Okay.
So what are you mad about? Is it not your fault? They didn't send you an email, or they did? You just didn't see it.
They didn't send the rent reminder email.
They didn't send it, or
No.
you just didn't see it?
They didn't send
Have
it.
you
I
gone
looked.
through and checked?
That's what I was doing.
Just making sure.
Because I was like, why didn't I?
I'm trying to be a mature role model here for you. Make sure you double check before you call someone out for not doing their job.
Yeah.
Make sure you did yours.
Oh, no, number's disconnected.
Oh, dude, they're just going to take your buddy?
Now I'm about to bust in the office when I go back.
Yeah, kick the door in.
I'm about to belt the office down and tattoo him on the face.
With a hammer.
With a blister.
Oh.
Pause.
What? Okay. But we appreciate you guys this morning, and for hanging out with us once again. Great stuff from Mikey Matuk.
It's rowback season again.
It is. It's cold again.
Promo code
Tigers for rowback. There's the dog right there.
Pet that dog. Do you think they have one?
They have to.
Gotcha.
Are those just models?
Yeah, I think he was
that
actually.
Mike Trout?
I think he was on the Bachelorette. He won.
Wait, let me see.
1 year. Did he not? Is
I
that
don't
not
know.
what's his face?
I was just checking the one from this year.
No, this was back. They had like a 40-year-old lady do as the Bachelorette, and I think this guy won it. He did. She canceled the rest of the season because
she was so
she
good
fell
at
in
it.
love with this guy.
Huh.
He told her he was a model. I think she thought it was going to be something different than rowback. But There it is. Tigers, Tigers, Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. For those asking about the women's basketball tournament challenge, that one did not have a prize attached to it. That one was just for fun. Shout out to our winner. I think he actually popped in the chat today. So I'm going to pull up the winners and the leaders in the clubhouse right now, because the winner of the men's basketball tournament challenge, if I can get it here, has their award waiting right here in the studio with that shirt from Roback, RHOBACK.com, code Tigers, TIGERS.
Masters. Starts this week.
Let's see if I can find it.
It's Masters week.
It is Masters week. It's always on my my mom's birthday weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Masters week it is. Did you I guess we could do one of those Masters challenges too.
We could.
Put that out there.
No Tiger Woods.
Right now in the Culotta Show bracket challenge, now it should be the unnamed podcast bracket challenge. The Clark JC bracket has overtaken the bezeled ones as number one. Clark, CLARKE, JC bracket is in first place with Florida as his champion. And then our winner of the women's bracket challenge. Let's see who won that one for us in the unnamed podcast, the Tingle & Co. podcast bracket challenge. Oh, I did well because I picked UConn. Good for me. Let's see. I came in fourth place. Wow.
Nice.
Almost said I did not do well in the men's bracket because I chose St. John's. I believed in the Godfather, Rick Pitino, and that didn't pan out. Our winner
I was going to pick Houston.
ESPN 107-15385's picks, the women's bracket challenge. Me, him, Rich Irie, and Mark Cumby in there as well. All of our UConn selections. So shout out to our winners there. We'll have the official announcement for the men's NCAA tournament challenge winner tomorrow, who will get this shirt from Roback. As what is that?
This is the new TV.
This is a television?
The LG Signature OLED rollable TV, a TV in your ground for the small price of $100,000.
Oh, that's nothing.
Nothing.
$100,000. I mean, come on.
That's what the winner gets.
Yeah. Oh my word.
What if it rains?
Yeah. Are those speakers at the bottom?
What if I throw something at it?
Well,
I mean, you'd probably.
I think
what if water gets on it?
That's
There's
what
a
I
pool
said.
right there.
What if it rains?
That is kind of fancy. That's pretty cool, though.
That's at Mikey's house.
Yeah, right. With all those jerseys behind him.
Oh, the 8s.
Yep, and the 27. But we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9, with what's now called Tingle & Co. The Tingle & Co. podcast, whatever you want to call it. Tingle & Co. show. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9, with more of it. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget, follow all of us on our personal social media accounts. There's some changes going on around and about, especially in the background of a lot of this show business. So make sure you're following us there to be prepared for whatever may come. We appreciate you guys and your dedication to watching us every morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9.
Hey, Gino, got my headphones up, bro. You right there. Big step, but we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving L's like I know love and I can't lose. For myself, man, I can't lose. For my